So first of all, I want to thank obviously Virginia Country Club, but most of our partners that were able to make this event happen. But how's that for a start off for this event? It's something new that we did. Thank you, Bud, Garmany, and Joel from New Zealand for that. Give them a round of applause. That was awesome. Being able to, again, thanking Jamie and Virginia Country Club for allowing us to play the walk, which is, that was a fun deal. So we're looking at, trying to do something like this on our future events of the summit. So I'd like to get our partners up. Today we're going to give our partners an opportunity to show us how their products can help us make us better teachers and coaches here. We've been really fortunate to have some of these have been partners for a while. I myself use almost pretty close to all of these products here that has helped make my schools a lot better, from anywhere from communication with our students to tracking performances, again, to make this whole work-life balance better. It doesn't take as much time to do a lot of this stuff. So this first part, I want to get from ShotScope, Gavin Deere. Where's Gavin from ShotScope? Come on up. He's a commercial director at ShotScope from Scotland, right? Please have a seat here. Any, yeah, why don't you sit on right over here? Get these other people to come on up. From Clipped, Charlie Quick, who is the business development manager. Where's Charlie? Come on up. Thanks, Charlie. From DeWiz, we have Anelis Redzic. Come on up from DeWiz. Foresight, Tim Brand. And then from OnForm, Nate Hargrove, Director of Sports. Welcome, man. Have a seat. I think there's one over there. All right, cool. So we want to make this as interactive, and basically want to make this interactive. So I'm going to allow our partners to kind of introduce themselves, their product, and how their product's going to help us to make us better teachers and coaches. From there, we're going to open up for some questions, and we'll go about that for the rest of the afternoon. So we'll go ahead and start with. So let's start with ShotScope and Gavin. The question to everyone's going to be basically, how does your product make us better?
Sure. Is this yeah, it's working. Yeah. So I'm Gavin from ShotScope. As you'll maybe hear, I've got a bit of an accent. So we're a Scottish company. We're a golf technology company. So we produce shot tracking products, rangefinders, GPS watches. And to answer your question, Randy, we're doing multiple sides. So we're providing the golfers with an ability to capture data so they can understand their game better, but also providing systems in ShotScope Academy for coaches to be able to understand and have a set of eyes on what your golfers are doing on the golf course, and really to try and create more education around that first 5 minutes of a lesson or an interaction where you say, hey, how have you been playing the last 4 weeks? And they say, yeah, okay. And you're trying to get that information out of them. Well, ShotScope can provide you that data up front to say, hey, this golfer's been losing shots against their peers on putting or short game or wedge play, and you can then go and focus in to give the greatest amount of value in a lesson.
Yeah, I've been with ShotScope when they came out to be partners, and the biggest thing that has helped me is, again, keeping that relation, the communication between your students. The information with analytics these days is pretty important, so it's been a very, very, very neat product for us in our school. Any questions from our audience here? Anybody use currently? Anybody using this product? Well, I implore you, anyways, to make sure you go visit them and see. They have everything from, again, um, measuring the distances to tracking all the information. It's pretty user friendly. They have a watch that you wear. So, anyways, it's been a really neat product that I've enjoyed using. No questions? All right, let's head up to our next partner from Clip. Let's go from Clip. So, Charlie, how does your product make us better?
It's a very good question. Firstly, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for having us. My name's Charlie, and my remit within the Clipped environment is to cater for the junior golfer, for high school golfers, and for college golfers. And whilst we're a very new player in this area compared to the people I sit beside, we're starting to make real progress within particularly the junior golfing market. And so we've now got over 120 Division I college golfers using Clipped. We've got a number of different high school and young golfer academies throughout the US. And something that we learn from each of our partners is that there seems to be a real change in the mindset, particularly of junior golfers, but also of all golfers that really just want to get better. And that change in the mindset is that everybody is starting to truly understand the value that data has to player development and also enhancing the relationship of players and coaches. And so, Randy, to answer your question, how does Clipped help instructors and teachers to get better at their job? I think firstly, it provides clarity. For every lesson that a teacher takes with their client, it's all about knowing exactly where they're going to focus their time for each of their different players. At the center of our Clip Performance platform is something called What to Work On, and it's driven by understanding what's most important to each client that you see. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. It's about understanding each time your players, your golfers step foot on the tee, what's going to be most important for them. Is it their off-the-tee play? Is it their putting? And we think that bespoke approach is so important to deliver a higher service for each of your players. So I think the simple answer, Randy, to answer that question is it's about providing clarity. It's about giving instructors and coaches visibility. And it's just about providing that higher level of experience, that higher client service for each of your different golfers.
Yeah, can you expand on that, giving them the visibility? Because I know that was a big thing with what you folks do. How does that happen?
For sure. I mean, I know everybody that sits here has a very busy schedule, whether you're teaching younger kids, whether you're teaching slightly older clients. You're constantly moving from lesson T to lesson T. And we understand that your time is of the essence. And so Clipped, it's about providing visibility to each different client that you see. You can have all of your players in one dashboard. And as I said, you can understand what's going to make the biggest difference for each of them. And so that visibility piece, it's about removing the noise, no matter what different technology that you're using, just making sense of that data. So you can look at your iPad, you can look at your phone and see straight away, for this client, this is going to be most important to them, and I want to make sure that they know that. So visibility is really about you guys understanding, right, what do I need to do to make this client's day to give them the best value from their lesson?
Anybody using Clipped here?
Hopefully a few people. Hopefully after this chat, a few more. But yeah.
Well, that's what this is all about. So make sure, after this, tomorrow, we've got all day tomorrow to please visit them. Look at what they do because it is really, really, really helpful for your business. All right, let's go to Foresight Sports. I know Tim he came to us when we were at Journey at Pechanga when we first did it and set up their simulator. I use one at my facility as well, but I know they've got some new products coming on out. Tim.
Thanks so much, Randy. Tim Breon, Director of Business Development for Foresight Sports. We are one of the leading technology companies in the industry. We specialize in launch monitors and simulators. Who here uses launch monitors when they teach? It's great to see. Who's using radar-based systems? And who's using camera-based systems? Good to see a few hands up for both. So we are a Southern California-based company. We're based right down in San Diego. And we're very proud of that. Those that use our products are used to a certain level of durability and reliability from our products. And we think that that's a testimony to what our folks in the back of the house do when they assemble and manufacture. We specialize, obviously, in launch monitor technology. That's where most people are familiar with us. For about 3 years now, we've been the leading utilization out on the PGA Tour, which we're very proud of. How do we make people better? We are a premium camera system that measures the club face in all 3 dimensions. So let me make sure that we understand it's a direct measurement of what the club face is doing for leading edge, lie angle, and loft. If you look at any other system that's out there, they're utilizing aspects of the ball flight to extrapolate what happened at impact. For all of us that are in this audience, we're teachers or we're club fitters. And as teachers and club fitters, you have to understand how the club is actually being delivered to the ball in 3 dimensions in order to make an accurate assessment over how a player performs. So, did the ball start to the right because the leading edge was slightly open or because the handle was high? That's something that we can directly help you quantify to make the correct analysis and assessment with your students. Additionally, we also drive simulation. So how do we make players better? By making the golf experience more fun and more accessible inside. All of us don't have access to Southern California weather year-round. So for those of us that don't, it's important that we can continue to keep working on our skill set inside. With driving golf simulation, it's something that we're very proud of, to be able to keep people attached to the game, even when they don't have beautiful weather like this. And then I think as far as helping teachers, there's something that I see very few teachers do in my assessment as robustly as they should, which is look at the database. For those of you that are using technology, how many times do you look at your database and you come up with specific campaigning around a specific type of player? For instance, I want to run a slice camp. So query your database for the people that come over the top from the outside and hit down, and send marketing and messaging specifically to that subset of people. It will help you as better business operators leverage your technology, not just to get somebody to swing the golf club better, but to give you insights to drive your business.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Tim. That's great information. Now, how do you go about doing that? As far as your with your software and stuff, is that what that does?
So, for instance, our director of education, who's here familiar with Liam Mucklow? So, Liam is very smart about how he runs his business. Let's just talk on the business side of things. And he makes sure that when he's giving lessons, if you're using technology, make sure that you set up a user account for each one of your students. Make sure that you tag things properly in your software so that you can run reports based upon those tagging and based on those data sets, where you can go back and look and say, okay, I've got a subset of my students that all do X, Y, and Z. I should probably look at specific programming around that type of player. Another great one is looking at a measurement like, for instance, on putts, looking at people that have a difficult time with the spin of the ball, the consistency of the spin of the ball off the putter face. You know that group of people is probably going to be apt to 3-putt a lot more likely, because they're not launching the ball with the same characteristics from putt to putt. So more intelligently looking at your database to drive your business is something that I would encourage all of you to do more.
Thanks, Tim. Any questions? How many are using a Foresight or one of their products? I know there's a bunch here. Didn't you come out with the next
That's
generation?
Right. So we have, it's back on the back table. It's called GC3. For those that are familiar with our quad is still beyond the budget of some folks out there. We understand that. So 2 years ago, we brought to market GC3, which is a personal launch monitor device that's designed more for that home user. It is, as far as data accuracy and capabilities, the things that it cannot do, which quad can, it's not going to deliver a putting experience, and it's not going to deliver certain club face measurements. But when you look at ball spin and spin axis, all of those measurements are at parity with quad. And we feel very strongly that those personal launch monitor devices are going to become much more popular over the next 5 to 10 years.
Thanks again, Tim, for always supporting us every year. Any questions? All right, from DeWiz, we have Anelis Redzic, who is the head of data science, a scratch golfer himself with a master's in engineering physics. So I used DeWiz as well when it first came on out, and it's been a product of ours in our school that definitely gives you immediate feedback, but we've enjoyed using it. Anelis.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks for having us. Great to be here. We arrived yesterday from Sweden, so I'm a bit tired. It's the middle of the night, but anyway. So, yeah, I work at DeWiz. It's a Swedish tech company. We've been around for, the tech was started to develop 8 years ago. We launched 2 years ago, maybe, something like that. It's a wearable device. You wear it on your wrist, lead or trail. It measures your swing in terms of, gives you the position, the speed of the hands throughout the entire golf swing. And it's all about feedback, instant feedback, since we have a thing that we call learning stimuli. So, for example, if a golfer is over the top, as we were talking about before, you can put thresholds on that, and if he breaches those thresholds, he'll get a jolt, electric stimuli, directly. And some of you are laughing, but the background behind this is neuroscience, and it's all about getting instant feedback. It needs to be done instantaneously when you do the mistake, so the sound is too slow. So instant feedback, it's all.
Has anybody tried DeWiz in here? Jim? Well, what? There's some feedback there.
I realize how much my hands are coming over the top. It was very depressing. It's great though, doesn't give you instant feedback. A little jolt kind of tells you don't do that again.
Exactly. So that's one of our core sort of missions and visions, to improve every golfer through instant feedback. And the other one is actually looking at the difference. How does the swing data, for example, GC Quad and Foresight, they give you data on the club and the ball. We give you the data of the swing, the hands. How does this change from when you're in the studio with your teacher to when you're on the range by yourselves to when you're playing on the course or when you're actually playing tournament? You can wear this in tournament to look at the difference. What's happening there?
What is the retail price of?
So currently the retail price is, I'm not a salesman, I hope I have this right, but $5.99, and I think you guys can buy it for $4.99 this week. So that's the price. Just buy the unit and connect it to the app. Easy to set up and get started.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Anelis, for coming on down here. We have what? Sweden. Where else do we have? Scotland,
London.
South Carolina.
There you go. I mean, only Tim made the drive from San Diego, I think. But Ian, we really thank you folks for making the trip. This will be a neat, it'll be a neat experience even for you folks to get in front of pretty much the best of the best that we have here in Southern California. We take pride in our teaching and coaching, and I know this summit is part of that. Any questions for Anelis? All right, we have from OnForm, Nate Hargrove, Director of Sports. He has been with OnForm since they launched in March 2020. So welcome.
Thank you.
How does your
I figured your question. I heard it. I heard your question before. We're good. How many of you have used video ever in a lesson before? See, this is our audience. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That's what we are. We're a video analysis app. We allow you to capture video, analyze it quickly on your phone or your iPad, and then you can share it internally with your students. OnForm was launched in 2020. Our co-founders came from the video space, formerly known as UberSense or Huddle Technique back then. The other co-founder came from Training Peaks or an endurance software. And we said, hey, COVID's about to hit. Let's launch something. So that's what we did. And we've been growing ever since, and we're absolutely thrilled to be here. Couple of things that we do a little bit differently than maybe some of our competitors out there. And the biggest competitor that we see is your camera. That's it. Just I pull out my iPhone, I record it, and then I send it on. And that's changing that habit is a little bit difficult, but when they see the technology that we provide, the ability to draw lines and angles and do an overlay or do a comparison to a previous swing that they've been working on or a professional that you want to go record and things like that, that's some of the internal tools. It is cloud-based, so there is no additional data that you need to send through WhatsApp or through your messages. We reduce a lot of that for you. And then recently, as of 3 days ago, we just launched the integration with a smaller launch monitor for more of a consumer use, like the little Garmin R10. So now your students can go pick one of those up at Dick's Sporting Goods or something for $500-600, and it will automatically capture their swing and then send that data along with it to you as the coach. So now there's really no more guessing involved. So a lot of those features we've been working hard on. We've got a lot of different capabilities inside there to organize, to tag, as was mentioned earlier. You can tag the different videos. You can title them easily, searchable, things like that. So.
How do you folks base your fees on? Is it a monthly? Is it a subscription? Or?
Absolutely. So a couple different ways. We offer a free download, so anybody can go to the App Store and download it for free. There's some limitations, obviously, that you can use, but we have a personal use. So if you're just a self-taught and somebody wants to download it, you can pay for that. And then for coaches, it's $29 a month or $299 for the year, and that gives you unlimited students. You can invite every one of your students to the app. They get it for free. You can also include parents. So if you're giving little Johnny and you want to add dad, mom, and grandma to their workspace, you can do that, and that's for free. And then there's unlimited videos. So we don't charge you right now for any uploaded videos or anything. So.
Any questions? So again,
You own the data. So at any point, we would hate to see you leave, but at any point, if you wanted to download those and walk away, we would very easily help you do that. But hopefully you don't do that.
so again, please spend some time, go visit them at their booths right after this or even tomorrow morning. There'll be time for that, as well as lunch and throughout the day through the breaks. I had a question with Gavin and ShotScope. How does your folks' fee structure work for a teacher or coach that gets your product?
Yeah, okay. So we've got 4 different data collections or different methods, which range from $99 up to $369. It's a one-time buy for the golfer, and then there's no subscriptions for them. And additionally, for ShotScope Academy, for a coach to see all of that data, that's completely free. There's no subscription, there's no limits, it's just accessible. So we like to think that that's something that the golfer's getting a benefit when they can introduce their coach and have them see their data.
So you just buy the equipment and that.
Just buy the equipment.
Well, that's what attracted me to you. That's a neat deal. And again, any questions for the panel up here? Folks, anyone want to add anything else to close out? Anybody?
Thank you for the opportunity, Randy. You guys do a great job, and this is always one of the biggest events of the year. So,
well, I appreciate that. Again, we appreciate you folks to be able to have this in the first place. So, thank you very much. Let's give them all a round of applause here.
thank you.
And please visit them again. Just drop by the booths, check the things out, and so on. We're going to get the second panel up here. I don't know. I know the bar closes at 5:45, but if you guys want to get a real quick drink right now, we're a little bit ahead of time, so we'll get the other panel coming on up here. So let oh, shit, you've been waiting for that. Went to shut up. Let's thank Ryan Kelly and Trixon Cleveland for the use of the wedges out there. Even though they're kind of supposed to be the same with Zexiel, they still kind of like separate now. So thank you, Ryan, for coming out here and loaning us the wedges. Didn't help me any. Our next panel, come on up. I like from Golf Live, Alan Belden. Where is Alan? Golf Live, Alan Belden. There's Alan. I only got, Keith. That's right. We also have Keith Cioli. I didn't put that on my list over here. Again, from Golf Live. Golf Forever. Stacy Bukowski. From Zexio, Todd Sones. Not sure if Dr. Jason Worsland is here from. Oh, there you are. Good to see you, man. Come on up. Yeah. And where's Kavua? And then from Kavua, Dylan Horowitz. What's up, Dylan? Have a seat. All right, so we'll start with the same thing. How does your product help us to become better teachers and coaches? Why don't we start with Keith and Alan with Golf Live.
Thank you for having us. So how many people teach virtually or remotely already? Can I have a show of hands? Anyone do any remote coaching right now? No? There you go. How many people would like to start scaling their business and start teaching remotely a lot more from the comfort of your own home? Anybody? Well, at Golf Live, we do live virtual golf lessons. We have a more efficient and a more effective technology than Zoom or a FaceTime. No more pre-recorded videos sending back and forth where dialogue can get lost, right, between you and your student. So everything on Golf Live, it's a live video call with your student while they're swinging. And with our technology, you can actually create live replays of their swing and then immediately turn around and show that to them on the call and do all the drawing and analytics in real time. And on top of that, everything is recorded so that your student can go back and rewatch the entire lesson and retain all of that information. So whenever we talk about live virtual golf lessons, it's not just about connecting with your students anywhere in the world, but also really creating an experience for that student that they can retain the information. It's more convenient and definitely more efficient as far as the tools that are involved with it. And the last thing that I would say is that if you've ever wanted to get into virtual coaching, we actually have a partner program that we do all the heavy lifting for you. So we create a end-to-end funnel and take your virtual business and launch it for you. So you do nothing other than really create the content, and we jumpstart that business for you.
Anything to add?
No, I just think I'll share. So, Keith is the brains behind the operation. I'm the PGA professional. I've been teaching for 30 years. And what I will say is that, before COVID, didn't really teach virtually either. Been doing this now for 3 years, and in the last year and a half, been doing it more and more. And what I will say is that this is an opportunity to engage with students and check in with them so that their journey is not going sideways, right? We know that they undercorrect, overcorrect, misunderstand the message that is being shared with them. And, I'm in Boston. I'm one of those that does not have access to this weather all year round. And I have snowbirds that leave and go to Florida. And to be able to check in with them for a 15 or 30-minute session while they're down there in Florida, while I'm not with them, or I have juniors that are scattered up and down the East Coast that I can stay in contact with them. This is a way to do that and engage with your students from a remote position. We've basically just broken down the barriers of time and space, so it's been a very cool journey.
Is anybody here currently working? Do you have anybody here that you know that's?
I don't think anyone yet, no, but
All
they
right,
will be by
well,
the end of the weekend.
Yeah, that's the whole point of this. How does the structure work for your student and your coaches as far as to utilize your product?
Yeah, so to get onto the platform is free, and you go through the technology training and the vetting process, and then each lesson is a 90-10 split. But like Alan was saying, that and kind of how I mentioned earlier, the partner program is structured a little bit differently, where we go and actually create your business for you, and there's a upfront fee for that's guaranteed. So it's your money back if we don't create that business for you and fulfill our promise. So,
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Any questions? Visiting them. Well, let's go to Stacy Bukowski's from Golf Forever. I actually went over there and looked at your product. It was pretty cool. Definitely going to be using that, but tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're excited to be here. Raise your hand if you or any of your clients have ever had back pain or limitation in their body. Everyone. All right, that's why we created the product. So that's why we're here. We are changing the game of golf by focusing on the body. We are here to provide the tools and education to allow golfers to do what they love at their highest potential, free of pain, forever, right? So that's the Golf Forever. So, the tour players and the best players in the world, including Scotty Scheffler and over 400 now tour players using our product, they have a swing coach, hopefully like yourself, and then they have the best equipment, but no one is focusing on their body like the tour players at the average level, right? So we're trying to bring that to your clients and enable them to focus on their body. And how that works is we have the Golf Forever Swing Trainer, which is over there, and you can definitely give it a try. It's one product. It sells for $199, and it comes with an app that is customized. So when you first download the app, you'll go through an assessment. It will put you in one of 150 platforms. So I'll get different workouts than Andrea will or Carrie will, for example. So what's neat about it is the customization enables for any player, regardless of age or skill level or ability, to be able to use our product. So, how it can help a golf instructor and help all of you and why we're here is we strongly believe in warming up before you ever touch a golf club, right? We say warming up starts with your body, not the wedge. So many people go right to hitting wedges. If you can take 8 minutes to focus on your body and activate the muscles and move your body, you can gain 14 yards, right? We've proved it in a pilot study this year. So if you have your students show up to a lesson 15 minutes before their lesson, activate their body, warm themselves up, your lesson will be that much more efficient. So I know a lot of the instructors in the country started to implement that. Show up 10, 15 minutes before. You can give more lessons. You can be more efficient that way. And then sometime in the lesson, there's a moment where you're trying to get someone in a position and they just can't do it, right? Their body just doesn't move that way. They can't turn their hips that much. They could have a number of body limitations. And so by walking over using the swing trainer, you're enabling them to really retrain their motor patterns in their body and feel that position. So not only can it help the warm-up during a lesson, and then after a lesson, you can say, hey, if you want improved outcomes in between lessons, take Golf Forever home, do this at home, and you're going to notice tremendous improvements in your swing. And so most golf instructors find it's a really valuable tool because with improved outcomes, they keep coming back to you for more lessons. And it just improves your credibility, and you're really helping them to be able to play golf forever. So if you have any questions, we'd love to come over here. We have Andrea Dodato here, the top 50 Golf Digest fitness instructor. She'd be happy to take you through some moves, and hopefully you guys can stretch a little before you leave tonight. Sip and stretch. It works.
That's awesome, Stacy. When someone gets your product, how do you go about the training aspect of it? Is that included with the product where we said, well,
yeah, that's a great question. So the customized app is really the training. It's the tool. It's the engine. You can actually work out with Andrea every day at home from the comfort of your own home if you want. So the product, you guys get a PUD discount. You can buy it for $100. You get the app for free. So it's a great value. If you want to sell it to your students, you can get them at $120 wholesale and sell them for $200. So all of a sudden that $100 you're charging for a lesson, you just made an extra $80 in that hour, for example. So it's a great revenue stream for you. We also have an ambassador program where you can send people online and you just get a kickback if you're not able to carry inventory. So a lot of options, but we really do believe in what we're doing, and it has helped people. So we look forward to helping all of you.
So with the app, is that app for our students also?
Correct.
Free?
Yeah. So every time you open the box, you get 30-day trial in the app to try it. And then if you want to convert, it's about $16 a month for the student. But it's free for the pro.
Any questions? It's a nice product. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you.
All right, we have from Zexio, Todd Sones, who is a PGA member, has been a long time top teacher and coach in our country. He's worked with Zexio, who has people know has been for people like myself that's losing club head speeds and so on. But I also heard that Never Compromise is coming back into that family there. So, Todd, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, let me thank you for having us here. But let me tell you how it happened. So Chuck, who you'll hear tomorrow, Chuck came to my school after I got into Zexio equipment because I've had 4 surgeries on my left arm. So the Zexio equipment helped me a lot get back into the game and really enjoy it. And so as a favor, because Chuck did such a great job outfitting me. I said, come to my school, and he came to my school. And I've had a method called TriFit for about 15 years now, and I used to have a very small putter company, which I could never do to the scale that I wanted to do. And Chuck sat back and watched it, and basically we had 10 people there. I fit 8 people into brand new putters. Made them on the spot. They walked away. And the most important thing is that to combine instruction with the putter so the person's walking away with a system that's really going to help them play better on the golf course. And so Chuck just saw that, and he said, we really can do this at a bigger level. And so he had me come into California and meet with Mike Powell, and we started talking about it. And so now we're bringing Never Compromise back, which is great because, when you think about it, you guys know, I mean, how many people are fitted to their drivers and their fairway woods and their irons, but not their putter, right? They buy it off the shelf. And a lot of times they buy it without any professional help. And I always say that buying a putter, it's kind of like buying a pair of glasses from Sunglass Hut. I mean, people need professional help. And that's what now we can deliver to them. And the cool thing, too, about it is, within right away, if they have the inventory, you can make the putter to the right length, make it at the right way, and put it in the player's hand and combine that with instruction. They're going to get better. And I always say this, it's not about, the putter is not the end. The putter is the means to the end. The end is to help people play better golf. So to sell any golf club that doesn't help someone play better doesn't make sense to me as a professional. I want to make sure that anybody that I fit is improving. And when they improve, they get better, then the phone rings. That's the bottom line. And so I'm really about making people just like golf forever. And Alan, you've experienced what I've done with TriFit, and Alan did really well when he was a head professional at Worcester. He had to come in, and we did some schools together. We had great success. So that's really the main idea, is to be able to fit something that's not been fitted yet in this industry properly.
So how important is the length of the putter when it comes to fitting?
That's a great question, Randy. So I have to stand up, and I have to say, I was really worried that everybody was going to take all the chairs and I was going to have to sit in that chair. So I'm really glad. But anyway, so the length of the putter influences 3 variables. It influences your forward tilt, it influences your connection, and it influences the distance the player will stand from the ball. So when a player has a putter that's too long for them, they are going to stand up taller, or if they tilt to get their arms under their body or their hands under their shoulders, they're going to jam their elbows up, or they're going to have to stand farther from the ball. So when a player has a putter that's the correct posture, the correct length, they can get in the proper posture, and therefore they're going to make a better stroke. But a lot of times it takes a professional to get in there and help them define that, because most people don't know how they should set up. They just adapt to the putter instead of having the professional teach them where they should be and then having a putter adapted to the player. So it's a professional experience, and certainly anybody that goes through it, the amateur is going to walk away and think a lot of the person that delivered that experience to them. So it's a great opportunity to help a lot of people and be a lot better golf professional, the way I look at it.
Any questions?
So, what happens to the balance of the putter when let's say you're saying to a student, that putter's too long for you. So I want you to choke down on it.
Right. So that's a great question. So what happens to the balance or the swing weight of the putter? And here's how I explain it. A lot of times I'll have a group of people in a school, usually 10 people, and I'll have them, if someone asks the question, a lot of people don't know what swing weight is. What is it really? We know, we're golf professionals. So swing weight is your feel of the club head as it swings back and forth. So I'll just have them stand up and swing the grip. And then I'll go, okay, now swing the putter head. So when you swing the putter head, you start to feel the weight, and that's very important to a player's cadence, their tempo of their putting stroke. So to answer your question, when you put a club head down, I'm going to put this down and I'll speak loud. So this is what I show amateurs. When you put a club on a swing weight scale, there's a fulcrum. It's 14 inches past the grip. Oh, that'd be great, Stacy. Thank you. So anyway, when you put a club on a swing weight scale, and again, this is how I explain it to amateurs. Put a club on a swing weight scale. The fulcrum is 14 inches past the grip. So when you cut this end down, you're moving the weight closer to the fulcrum. So now it becomes, to answer your question, it becomes lighter. For every inch you cut a club down, you lose 6 swing weights, which is equivalent to 12 grams of weight. So it's not good enough to just define the length. And you'll have people that come to you and you'll say they've got a 35-inch putter and they need a 34 or 33 and a half or whatever they need. And they'll, well, can I just cut my putter down? And I'll say, yes, you can, but now you won't have the feel, and it'll affect your distance control. So what we did through the Zexio product, the putters come, and you can come back and take a look at them. It's super cool. There's weight ports, and the putters come 37 inches, so they can be cut to length, and then there's weights available at 5 grams, 10 grams, 15 grams, 20 grams, 25 grams. All the models, regardless of the model, they're all 330, so they're all balanced. And so you can go from 330 to 380. And so not only can you build a putter at the proper length for the player, but you can build it in the proper weight, and they can walk away with it, which is a pretty cool experience for the amateur golfer. Right? That's a great question. Thank you for answering. So basically, with a 5 gram weights, if I build a putter, this is just suggested. If I build a putter that's 36 and over, you know, you get a guy that's 6 foot. There's a lot of, I've had people come to my school, the guys that are 6'5", and they got a 35, and it's too short. And they need something longer. So if I'm 36 and over, I'm going to 5s automatically, right? If I'm going from 35 to 35 and 3/4, that's going to be 10s. And then 15s would be 34 to 34 and 3/4. 20 would be 33 to 33 and 3/4. 25s would be 32 and 3/4 and under. Now, that also, you know, you have flexibility. So if you've got a player that comes to you and they're going, I really want more weight, no problem. I'll change it. I'll put more weight in. If I'm teaching and I see someone that has a really quick transition, I'm probably going to put more weight in that putter to slow them down. If I feel like they're too slow and laggy, I might make it a little lighter. I'm watching that transition. That's the neat thing. I mean, once you fit them, you can make adjustments depending on what you think that player needs. And then also green speeds can be affected, right? So if you're on really fast greens, I like a little heavier putter that has a slower cadence in transition because that player will have a little better feel. So that's a big thing about this. It's got versatility and flexibility. So you can do what you need to do for the player that's in front of you and really be successful, right? Great questions. Any other questions?
Does every putter come with the multiple weights?
Yes. So they all come with weight ports, just like this. Come back and take a look at them. They're really cool, and they're 303 stainless. You know, everything's done at the highest level. We're using UST shaft. It's like everything's done at the highest level. So please come back and take a look and take a look what we've got. I think you'll like it. It's cool.
Thanks, Todd.
You got
I mean, that please visit them. It's I'm looking forward to my fitting center. My fitting system that's coming into my place. So excited about that. All right, let's talk about Therabody, who's been a partner with us for a few years now. How many of you won Therabody? I think I know Brett won. Very nice. It's a great product. I have one myself, obviously, before every round, even in the morning. It's a great way to kind of get yourself loosened up. But Dr. Jason Werslin made it here. Thanks for making it here. So welcome back again.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. I think to start off, I'll kind of explain a little bit. What you probably won is a TheraGun. That's a product made by the company Therabody. We're still kind of new and people are still trying to figure that out, so I figured I'd kind of explain that a little bit. I invented the first massage gun in 2007. I'm going to kind of give you some context on who we are so it makes sense when I explain later how this relates to you. And from 2007 to today, I've got over 400 patents in my name, but most of the important part for me is the science behind what we do. This isn't just something that you see at Costco or Amazon and you buy something for $49. We actually have an app that shows you a pre, during, and post golf workout, warm-up, whatever you want to call it. And we have actually science that proves it. We're just finishing the submission on a swing speed protocol, so you actually can increase your swing speed by using our product. It's really important to me as the founder that these aren't just claims we make, that we actually have validation for these things. I'll tell you a story really quick to kind of explain where I'm going with this. I was at a celebrity tournament in Las Vegas with supporting one of our investors, and I was standing in my booth just like this, and I saw Dr. J come wobbling in and sit down on a chair, really gingerly. He was sitting on a couch. And I couldn't help myself, and I walked over and I said, "Hey, what's going on?" He said, "My back's out. I can't play." And they wheeled him in on a golf cart from the third hole. So I said, "Well, let me see what we can do. At least we'll get you out of pain." Bring him over to our booth. I worked on him for 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Had him come sit back down. I let him take a Theragun with him. I turned around, and he was gone, and I thought he'd left with his wife. And at the end of the tournament, they're all coming in, like they've done, and I see him walk up, and he says, "You helped me so much today. I was able to play." So Therabody products, I love saying this, but we help you do more of what you love. And you asked earlier about, raise your hand who've all had any sort of body issue that's kept you from doing what you want. That's really what we focus on. Having products. We have a back wrap that I put around him, and I gave him a Theragun to just use on his hip flexors to kind of release QL, put his back wrap. He took them with him, which I'm glad. But that's really the point. You know, you get people. I love golf. Our head of science is a scratch golfer. He plays a lot of tournaments in Florida. So it's always part of our conversation. And one of the things that drives me crazy is golf is one of the and I don't know how many people are going to agree with this, but I think the golf swing is one of the hardest things to do in sports. To be consistent and hit that ball. And there's a lot of things that have to do with that. And a lot of it is a proprioception, like where you are in space. And you know, for most of us out here on the 9th hole, we don't know where we are because we had a little more too much alcohol. But when you're teaching a class and you have someone that you're working with, it's really about where they are in space. And our products, when you put it on your body, actually works on your proprioception. You guys all, I hope, understand what that means. It's your ability to aim, to know where you are. So we've got a lot of pros that are playing in the tournament right now that are using our products for reasons that you wouldn't think. It helps with their muscles, but it's also helping with their aim, with their ability to hit a ball. So we've got 35, 40 SKUs, a lot of different products. But the coolest thing about them is they all connect to the app, and they all have education. They explain exactly how to use it. And in our app, we actually call out golf because we feel like that's just a specific movement that people need. Taking care of our bodies is probably one of the number one thing, in my opinion, that keeps you from doing what you want to do. An age, but we won't win that one. So anyway, I know we're here. We've been here for a little while. I appreciate you having us again. I think we have a booth tomorrow, possibly.
Yeah, the same thing. The booths will be out and during the registration as you go through. So you'll have the opportunity everybody to come by and again show that product. We have any questions?
Yeah, so when you stimulate the nervous system in certain ways, it actually helps you know where you are in space. So without looking at me, you could close your eyes and probably reach down and pick up your beer because you know where that beer is. We lose that as we get tired and age. So putting the Theragun on the body in certain areas, bottom of the feet, back of the legs, lower back, and shoulders, especially your rotators, it just kind of dials that in a little bit. It's been something, we have research that validates that, from throwing a football, throwing a baseball, all those really specific movements that require aim. So yeah, that's probably the best way to explain that.
Anything else? Any more questions? We have with us today Leo Rooney, from UGP, who's going to be talking a lot of what you just talked about there. Can you give us a little insight about tomorrow and how important these products are? I hate to put you on the spot.
No, that's fine. I've known Jason since 2015, which is kind of crazy. So we've used Therabody for a long time. We love it. Jason is very humble. I mean, he has so many new products, and Therabody is just growing and growing. So, I mean, we use the whole spectrum of products that Therabody provides. So it's been a great addition to our programs at UGP. So Jason is the man.
Thanks. Look forward to hearing you tomorrow. Any other questions? All right. So we have from Kavua, Dylan Horowitz. Why don't you let us know how your product is going to help us be better teachers and coaches?
Hi, guys. So thank you so much for having me. As you guys can tell, I'm not a coach. I'm 20 years old. I'm a junior at Chapman University. I play for the golf team there. And so I created the Kavua Pro with my dad, and that's my mom at the booth as well. And it's an adjustable tripod that holds up 2 sticks parallel to one another. It goes from 15 inches all the way to 65 inches. It moves side to side, up and down, however you might need it for when you're teaching your students. So the reason I actually created it was because it was during COVID in my junior year of high school when I didn't have my coach around to help me. So normally when I was working on stuff in lessons, they would hold up sticks in these different positions. We would work and we would do FaceTime calls and we would do all these things, but I didn't have someone to do that. So my mom was like sitting at the booth. She held a stick on my head every time I swung in my backyard. So I grew up playing hockey, and I was always hitting slap shots. And whenever I would hit slap shots, my head would dip down a lot. So I had my mom hold a stick to the end of my head, but she got tired, and I can't blame her. So I created basically the very first version, which was made out of Star Wars lightsabers that I poked 2 holes through, and I put it on top of a punching bag and duct taped it down, put some sticks in it, and then I put my head on it. And that was the very first version of what now looks like that, the Kavua Pro. It's very different from other products because, like many of you guys, I became a training aid rat, especially during COVID. I'm now a junior in college, so over the last 4 years, I bought pretty much every training aid that, whether it was competitor or whatever it might be, to help my golf swing out. And the difference between us and other ones is ours is immediate feedback. So when you guys are giving lessons and you're having to hold up sticks in certain positions for swing plane, head movement, whatever it might be, when your players are not with you guys, then it's hard from a player's perspective to actually work on those lessons. So for coaches, it's really good to have it during a lesson so you guys don't get whacked. But also when you guys have the players after the lesson, they can practice by themselves. So it's been a really cool journey creating this product, and it has a lot of cool features on it because it goes side to side. It goes in all these different ways, however you want to set it up, for head movement, over the top, hip swaying, whatever it might be. And my coach, actually, Rick Sessinghouse, who's now our strategic partner, we work with Flow Code Golf, and they do the mental side and we do the physical side. And Rick has been a really big help creating the product to what a PGA professional expects, because I'm not a PGA professional, so I wanted the credibility and everything. And my dad and my mom have been very helpful throughout this entire process. And yeah, come and check it out. It's really cool.
Thanks, Dylan. How can you not support that? That's awesome. It is a fun product. I did experiencing it, and maybe I got to get one now after all that. Support your college. Any questions for anybody on the panel? You think of anything? How about your panel? Any last words to? Because we'll have another full day tomorrow of listening to some great speakers again to make us all better. I think we did this very strategically as far as our partners go, because everything we have here from the technology standpoint, it definitely helps. It makes things easier. Gets across to our students what we're trying to get them to do. So anyways, if there's no further questions, again, thank you very much for all of our partners that came here today. And please visit them, everybody out here after this. Again, the bar, I think, closes in another 45 minutes. So please use this time to network, socialize, talk to our partners. And then we'll see everybody tomorrow morning. They'll be out there as well. So if that's it, thank you very much. We'll see everybody in the morning.